Hey guys, here's what I want to ask you about today. We go to church and we hear this passage. We hear these passages about Jesus. He's going to change your life. He's going to change your world, and we'll preach messages like, "Hey, you want to go change the world?" And you're like, "Well, that feels like a little bit big. You're just in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Change the world? How is that going to work?" But let me just ask you guys: do you want to change the world? Okay, we got one. Do you want to actually change the world? Okay, we got it. But here's the thing. I want to talk to you today about the secret to changing the world. Okay, well, let's bring it down. Let's talk about the secret that will change your world. Okay, you guys want to know a secret that will change every marriage that it ever applied to? You want to know a secret that will change every relationship that you ever had? It will change your world. It will teach you, not just how to give you, people don't need new spouses, they need new marriages to the same spouse. Yeah, it'll change your marriage, it'll change your family, it will change your kids, it will literally change your world. It's the secret to getting favor in your workplace. It's the secret to getting, and it sounds a little too good to be true, right? Like a cherry on top and sugar-coated. But I'm telling you, it will change everything. This is how you change the world. It will bring breakthrough in your life. It's a secret today I want to talk to you about. No, actually, we'll go next week, okay? You want to just go next week? Let's just do it next week. No, we're going to talk about it today. Okay, Mark 10:34. You ran away with my Bible there. Mark 10:34. You guys got your Bibles? I want to read this. Okay, actually 35. James and John and sons of Zebedee came up to Jesus and said to him, "Teacher, we want you to do for us whatever we ask of you." I like that. Jesus, give us what we want. And he said to them, what do you want me to do for you? And they said to him, grant us to sit at your... Go back. Grant us to sit on your right and your left, when you get into glory. And Jesus said to them, do you not know what you're asking? Are you able to drink the cup that I drink? Okay, now go next. Or be baptized with the baptism which I'm being baptized. And they said to him, we are able. And Jesus said to them, the cup I drink, that I drink, you will drink. And with the baptism with which I am baptized, you will be baptized. But to sit at my right hand and at my left of mine to grant you this, do you even know what you're asking, hey? But it is for those whom it has been prepared. But when the 10 heard it, so what was happening is a bunch of people got Jesus, 2 people got Jesus to the side and, Jesus, don't tell anybody else. Let's make a secret arrangement. Can we be the greatest in your kingdom? Forget about them. They don't have to know. And so the other guys were like, what are you guys whispering about? Oh, you guys want to be the greatest. And this is what happens. The 10 heard him. They began to indignate at James. Okay, next. And John. And Jesus called them to him and said, you know that those who are considered rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them, and the great ones have exercised authority over them. But it shall not be so among you. Whoever would be great among you must be your servant. And whoever would be first among you must be the slave of all. Next. I think there's one more. Do nothing. Oh, there we go. And it says, now if you do this, the last verse there says, if you do this, you will be blessed. He's going, hey. So what's happening? These guys are arguing about who's the greatest. And Jesus comes into the situation and says, whoa, hey guys, here's the thing. Go wash some feet. Go scrub some toilets. Go serve somebody. And it's inside out, upside down kingdom. Let's flip that thing on the head. We're going to talk about servanthood today. Father, God, I pray for your word. God, they'd speak to us loud and clear today. Father, you help us fall in love with you. You help us hear your voice. God, I thank you for the new decisions that were made for you and the going public today in baptism. And Father, I thank you for them. I just pray you bless them, keep them, lead them, guide them. And Father, we're asking that you'd speak to us today. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. How many of you guys know what a selfie is? Anybody? Selfie, yeah. You know what selfie is? It's one of those things that people walk around, they're like, big lips. And we walk around with these phones doing all these, taking pictures of ourselves all the time. And it's one of those things that the selfie world is for some people, but it doesn't quite work out for me because I got these short little arms that I can't even fit my big head in the screen, I can't reach far enough out, try to get a picture with somebody else. I'm like, So you know what they do for people like me? They get a selfie stick. They put it on a stick and put it way out. Then you have this selfie stick, and people go around taking little pictures of themselves. Here I am at the Eiffel Tower. Here I am at Papa John's. Or here I'm at Popeyes just down the street. Here I am at Eastside Victory Church. Here I am, And it's one of those things where we have got this culture of selfie. Here I am, here I am, here I am. Oh, look at me. Oh, this is so great. Oh, can you feel the love tonight? I just love to take pictures of me. And you have this, selfie world, right? It's all about me. Yeah, we should be singing that. It's one of those things, just selfie. And it's one of those things that, sometimes selfies go bad. I got a picture here for you. Go back. So here's a dude taking a picture of himself with a little Hello Kitty thing. I'm like, I don't know if that selfie quite worked out. Okay, next. Did you crash? Oh, yeah. Here's someone taking a picture of themselves, and I love at the bottom it says, oh, shoot, there's a poop just above her head. And you're like, that didn't quite work out. Okay, next. Here I am with the camels. Oh, that went bad. Okay. I love it. It's, I'm making the same face. This is so awesome. Okay, next. You're like, I don't know why you would take a selfie. There's a fire. It's burning down. What? Hey, that's fun. Okay, next. Yeah, someone made it on a soccer field. Yeah, check this out. Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay, next. Not just, why would you put that on the internet, Okay, one more. I love this one. This right before she got hit in the head with a baseball. You're like, that didn't quite work out. Okay, scratch that. We have this selfie world, and it's sometimes it goes bad, sometimes it doesn't go, it goes awesome, but here's the thing, we have this selfie obsession where I'm we have a romance with not only our phone, but sometimes with seeing our own little face all over our phone and all over our wall. And it's just one of those things that's just all about me. And here's the thing, this is what was happening. You think it's just the cell phone generation. Let me talk about it. A selfie generation came way before cell phones. Ooh, I just got intense in here. What that was called is a mic drop moment. Selfie generation, just way before the cell phone. That was good, right? Couldn't even plan that one out. And Jesus turns to these guys and is like, hey, guys, you guys are arguing about something. How many of you guys have ever argued about just something stupid? The stupidest thing. These guys are arguing, not only having a stupid argument, but Jesus comes up to them and says, hey, guys, you guys got this all wrong. And they're arguing about, Jesus loves me more. No, Jesus trusts me more. Actually, in the Last Supper selfie, when we all took a picture of ourselves, I was closer to Jesus. He loves me more. No, I want to be the greatest. No, you be the greatest. Hey, Jesus, don't tell the others, but can we be the greatest? And they have this moment where, it's just this, self-centric moment, and Jesus is like, here's the thing about the greatest. Here's what you need to know about being the greatest. Here's what you need to know. It's about serving. Hey, guys, you're arguing the wrong argument. You're playing the wrong game. You're pursuing the wrong thing. Sure, greatness is okay, but how to get to greatness is not stepping on people, going behind their backs and trying to get above them. It's serve them. This is the thing. Hey, you guys. Hey, Jesus is like, you guys got it all wrong. Let's flip that thing upside down. When you got a picture and you're looking at it, what is that? And then you flip it the right way and you're like, that makes sense. Jesus has that moment with them, flips it around. That makes sense. And Jesus begins to explain to them, hey. You're talking about your kingdoms and your wants and your ways, but you're not talking about the kingdom of God's. You're building your kingdom more than you're building God's. You're building your kingdom more than you're building others. You're building your position before you ever build others. You guys got this so backwards. He's going, this isn't the way that it goes. It's all about yourself. And here's the thing. All about me. Selfie generation is the quickest way to walk into the most insignificant living. I'll say it again. All about me. Selfie generation is the quickest way to walk into the most insignificant kind of living you'll ever have. Here's the thing. He begins to go, this is how greatness works. And Jesus turns to his disciples. And check this out. What I love, guys, walk with me for a little bit. What I love about this passage is he turns to his disciples and says, hey, you got it wrong. He didn't go, you buttheads. You want to be great? What should you ever want to be great for? I'm great, you're not. He could have had all those conversations. He didn't rebuke them for the longing to be significant. And can I just be real with you? I think it's in every single one of us. No one wakes up and just says, you know, I just want my life to not matter. I want to be forgotten. I want to not be remembered by a single soul and not make a difference at all. That's what I wake up to do. No one wants that, but we often do it. All because of a selfie generation. Or the selfishness in our own hearts. And Jesus says, hey, this is how it actually works. This is how it actually works. It's not about you, it's about others. This is how it actually works. He flips the thing upside down and puts up this revolutionary word that people would have been like, Jesus, did you just say that word? Servant. No one wants to be that. What? That's when I need that tone. Servant. You know? But God, I had my own independent plans, and I had my own life, and I had my own dreams, and my own everything, and me, and I, and it's all about me. And all of a sudden, it's that moment, it's just going, hey, this is not actually how you walk into significance. This is not how you actually walk into greatness. Because the pathway to greatness, to significance, to the life that you actually want, and the callings that God has put into you, the way that you walk into everything that God has for you. You know how? It's through serving. God's prerequisite for greatness is serving. We humble ourselves, we begin to serve. You don't believe me? Check it out. Philippians 2 verse 3 says, do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, because it's not about you. But in humility, count others as more significant than yourselves. And then let each one of you not look out just for your own interests, guys. Because we're all in it for ourselves and what we want and our stuff and our bank account. Stop building your own. Build somebody else's. He's going, hey, look out for the interests of somebody else. Give them value that you attribute them value that's higher than you. And he goes on to say, because Jesus did this. He laid down his life, died on the cross. Humble yourselves. Serve one another. Why? Because Jesus did it. John the Baptist, the greatest prophet, in Jesus' words, the greatest prophet that ever lived. How many of you guys would love that, hey? Jesus called me the greatest. You know what his motto was? Less of me and more of him. That I decrease and he increase. Do you want to change your world or the world? This is how it works. It's servanthood. And here's the thing. I'm preaching to the choir today. We got a church here that serves and loves to serve. So I feel like I'm preaching this not because I got some sign-up sheets at the back I want people to serve. There are no sign-up sheets today. This is not manipulating you into serving more. What this is for the betterment of us, the betterment of you. Jesus says, hey, this is how you walk into what he has for you. This is how the kingdom works. This is the currency, it's faith. But then we have faith in him, how we walk that out. We start serving each other in love. This is what we're supposed to be doing. Why? Because Jesus did it. Jesus sets the example. Jesus changed the world. He had a rescue mission, and he didn't do it with helicopters and machine guns. Yeah, Jesus comes, Rambo Jesus, He didn't do it that way. He didn't swoop in like that. He came to seek and save the lost. He came to destroy the works of the devil. He came to stand in propitiation, taking the wrath of God so you can get the love of God. He came to take sin and death and beat that thing, redeem, restore, and bring you to heaven on earth, to bring life to the full, life eternal, all these things. I could keep going on, the things that Jesus came to do. And how did he do it? He came to serve. He came to lay himself down, to pour himself out for somebody else. This is how he does it. This is how we do. And actually, when you think about it, think of any person that is known, not just in this generation, but throughout history for great things. Any person. Gandhi, okay, that's cool. Or you keep walking the Apostle Paul, okay, that's cool. You keep walking John, Peter, all these guys. All these guys are remembered because they did something to help somebody else. They benefited someone else other than themselves. And they walked into greater significance. And I feel like, guys, there are ministries and there's callings in this place that we just don't know how to get to. There are ministries and callings in this place where, I just don't know how to get to that spot because I'm here and it's there. And serve. And you will walk right into it. Jesus came not to be served, but to serve, Mark 10:45 says. So I got one point for you today. One simple point. Serve. And you're like, hey, how do you do that? So I did something for somebody else. Hey, I did that. I pulled out your chair. I opened the door. This would be good. You just been done loved. Like you got taken care of. Don't you feel blessed? I served. What does it mean to serve? Is it just to do something nice for somebody? Let's talk about this word serve. I'd say it's probably summed up in 4 words. How can I help? Because if I walked into my house one day with Sharon, I have 3 little boys. They're tornadoes. They're beautiful. They're loving. And sometimes they're terrorists to the clean house. They're just terrorized. So this thing, I could walk in my wife, and she's an amazing mom. And, and even my boys bring her to the end of that, Like, if I walk in, sometimes Sharon has that moment of like, these boys are arguing with each other. She's trying to cook and not burn the food, and she's trying to take care of everything. And I walk in, and what if I just start demanding her time? Hey, hon, look at me. Hon, look at me. Hen, look at me. Hon, no, ignore the boys. Hon, look at me. There's a fire starting, and there's smoke coming up from the oven. Look at me. I love you. What do you think she would do? Go away. But, honey, I just want to let you know how much I appreciate you right now. It's so good. You know what she'd probably do? Just probably throat punch me at that exact moment. No, she wouldn't. She's beautiful. Anybody else would throat punch me. No. But I'm telling you, it's that moment where you're like, this actually doesn't help at all. You're trying to do something for me that I don't even care about right now. You know what serving would be? Not just doing something for her. Well, I did something for you on my terms. Jump into her terms. Not my terms, her terms. How can I help you? Oh, you're drowning in children right now. Can I take some of them? Boys outside. Like, hey, can I maybe cook the dinner or do something like that? And here's my thing. I say this as vulnerability, as a vulnerable man. I'm going to eat these words later. And this is the problem with preaching the Bible is because it dings me too. She can be like, remember when you tell me just how can I help? Yeah, you should do some of that sometime. I'm going to eat these words later. But it's literally, sometimes we try to do nice things for people and be like, I helped you. No, actually, how can I help? You know what serving is? Serving is taking interest in them, in their burden. Not because I want to help, so I'm going to help you, but how can I help? What are you interested about? What are you concerned about? What are your hopes, dreams, and visions? What is bothering you? What is too heavy for you to bear? And how do I get up under that burden with you and bear it with you? That is serving. Well, I can't pay my bills. Well, let's get up under that burden with you. Well, I just can't deal with my family. Well, let's get up under that burden with you and help each other. This is it, to serve one another. It's 4 words. How can I help? It's one of those things that sometimes it's not helpful to do what we think is help. It's actually to get into the world to see them. To see the person and go, how can I help you? Not because I want to feel good about myself and put another notch in my belt or walk away and be like, I served. But I served you. This is it. How can I leverage, this is serving, how can I leverage what I have to lift what you have? How can I use what I got to help you with what you got? This is serving. And here's the example that Jesus lays out for us in John 13. John 13, I've got to go fast, so I'm going to skim over, guys. John 13 says this. It's the story of Jesus washing his feet, and it's the only time in the Bible that Jesus, out of his own mouth, says, I'm setting an example for you. He's always setting an example. But he actually says, guys, take note of this one. I'm about to float up to heaven. I'm about to leave this planet. Take note. Listen. This is an example. And he says, now this. In John 13, 4-8, and then 12 to 17, he says, if I then, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also have to wash one another's feet. And I give this an example for you. Just as I've done to you, do for others. Truly, I say to you, a servant is not greater than his master, nor a messenger greater than the one who sent him. So here's what he's saying. What happens is in this passage, he goes, and he's having a moment with the Father. And he comes out of his prayer closet and says, guys, guess what? I've been given all authority on heaven and earth. This is Jesus. Comes out of his prayer closet and says, disciples, I've been given all authority and power. Like, you don't understand. I am the most powerful person on the planet right now. Hey, guys, you don't understand. There's no one more important, more powerful than me right now. Like, God just, is using me to save this world. Did you know that? I got the power. He doesn't actually say that stuff, but that's probably what anybody else would say. He says, I've been given all power and authority. And then he goes on and says, now this is an example to you. This is what you do with power. This is what you do with authority. This is what you do with what I've given you. And he begins to take off his cloak, rabbinical cloak, that's a symbol that says he's important. That's a symbol of authority. That's a symbol of listen to me. That's a symbol that says you need to serve me. That I'm important. That I'm above you possibly. And he said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take it off. And he took it off and began to wash his disciples' feet. Some of you guys, that feet thing is really gross. Some of you guys are like, feet are gross. They're smelly and they taste, like. I was going to say olives taste a lot like how Imagine feet would taste. They're just disgusting. Sorry to use a little. But here's the thing. They have that. So he goes and he's making a statement. I'm going to deal with, you guys have washed all over. Good disciples, you take baths every once in a while. But I'm going to take the area that no one wants to wash. I'm going to take the dirtiest, grossest part of you, and I'm going to scrub it with my own hands. I'm going to do what is beneath anybody else, and I'm going to get up under your feet and wash them. And I'm going to serve you. And then he goes on to say, this is what I want you to do. This is an example that I want you to do. This is what you do with power. And this is where I really want to land. 4 more baptisms. Wow. This is so fun. He goes like this. This is what I want you to do with power. Guys, can I be really honest with you? I'm going to level with you real quick because we got to get to some baptisms. Here's the deal. You all got power. You all got influence. You all got a certain level of authority inside your lives. Whether you're parents, whether at your job, whether inside of your relationship, whether in your marriage. You all have authority and power. Now, what do you do with it? Are you going to use it for yourself? Because here's the thing. The big question is, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to lord it or hoard it? I'll say that again. What are you going to do with power? Are you going to lord it or hoard it? Lord it or hoard it? Do you want to lord it over people? Like, I got the power, I'm above you. Or do you want to hoard it and try to just keep going to more? And so oftentimes with power, we just protect our power. No one take it from me. And I just feel important right now. So everyone help me in my call and do what I want. And we have this, we either hoard it or lord it. And Jesus is saying you don't do any of that. You lay it down. This is what you do it. For the sake of somebody else, you lay it down. Are we going to help one another? Or what are we going to do with our power? What are we going to do with our authority? Hey, guys. What are we going to do with our authority? What are we going to do with this power? And here's the big challenge, guys. Are we going to serve one another? I'll say it this way. Are we going to live missionally or menially? Me-center, and it gets really menial and small real quick. Or missionally and live for someone else. For him and for them. For the glory of God and for other people. We're going to serve him and them and live missionally. We're going to make it about me and have my life get really menial. Missionally or menially. And here's the challenge, guys, because we as a church want to be contributors, not consumers. We just don't just take. Oh, just take. Here's the thing. If all you do is take, eat, you become spiritually obese. And it's really hard to move. It's really hard to do anything. Yeah, like a hippo. He's going, hey, there's an activation that needs to happen in our hearts. It's not about consuming. And we do this all the time. Well, we just kind of want to, I don't, people say things like this in a church. Well, I don't like that kind of worship today. That preacher is not his best day. The Bible is just kind of, And we have this but it's one of those things. It's kind of true. We say those things, but it just reveals a heart of a consumer inside of us. This is a family. This is not about consuming. This is about contributing. Here's the difference. Here's the thing. And this is how we begin to change the world and your world. Here's where I really want to land. We go for dinner. I go out for a restaurant, and if they don't give me hot food and the meal that I ordered, then I'm like, hey, guys, I paid for this, Send it back to the kitchen. Can I have a new one brought out? But if I did that at home, I'd be broken in half. My wife is beautiful. And awesome, but that's not the way you treat someone like that. You know what happens? For dinner, all those things, we have family over and I have to wash the dishes and cook and scrub and clean. At a restaurant, they do the dishes for me and then I tip them and say, you're awesome, thank you guys. At home, I wash the dishes and no one gives me any tips. At home, I wash the dishes and I try to cook and I'm telling you, does anybody even notice? Because it's expected. Here's the difference between consumer and contributor. Here's the difference between consuming a product at a restaurant and being a part of a family. Big difference. God is calling us to contribute, not just to consume. God is calling us to get under the burden of somebody else and say, how can I help you on your terms, your dreams, your vision, your calling, and how can I help you? God is calling us to do this, but are we? Because this is how we walk into significance. I'll say it this way. This is how you walk into favor. You want favor at your job? I'm telling you, you want a promotion? Walk into your businesses and be like, how can I help you? Not just like, how can I get ahead? Can I have a raise? When can I have a raise? Yeah, 3 months. Just put my time. What's my raise? Union, they're not giving me a raise. But if you walk in and start serving your boss and say, how can I help you? What do you need? I'm telling you, there's favor and promotion that comes. Look at Joseph in the Bible. Whether he was in jail or whether he was a slave, wherever he was, he just began to serve the interests of other people and was promoted. I'm telling you, you want breakthrough in some workplace, you're done with the job and you want a career, you want to get ahead, I'm telling you, it comes when you just begin to serve. If you want relationships to change, can I just be really straight with you? This is what we're supposed to be doing. If you want your marriage to change, this is what I call marriage money. You can't take anything out of that relationship until you put something in it. Take, you're bankrupt. And a lot of relationships get there because it's all about me and my feeling and my needs and I just want take, and we're bankrupt. I'm telling you, I'm learning this again and again and again. The more we pour out for each other, the more we become better for each other. If you want to change your relationship, get in there and say, how can I help you? How can I do what concerns you? How can I help you, wife? How can I? This is a big one. This is what we call marriage money. Now, this is a huge one. Teenagers, if you're in this place and you're just done with your crazy parents, you want to change that relationship, get in there and say, hey, rather than I hate you, mom and dad, how can I help you, mom and dad? And they'll be like, who abducted my child? And please don't bring him back. That's what's going to happen. You want your relationship to change, men? Start putting in. Women, I love it. This is a good quote. You take care of your man, they'll take care of you. You serve that guy, and eventually he's going to start serving you. And vice versa. I am telling you, Matthew Barnett probably said it the best. He started the Dream Center in L.A., and he says this, you get who you serve. Oh, we want Forest Lawn. Then serve it. You get who you serve. Well, I want my marriage to get better. I want this. I want that. Then go serve that. You want better friendships? Then serve, be a friend. You want better relationships? Then you get in that relationship and help them. And you'll have more friends than you know what to do with. I am telling you, you get who you serve. And what you serve, when you serve, God multiplies it, will bring blessing. John 13, at the end of this, he says this, if you do this, serve like Jesus, he says you will be blessed. I don't know, but if you can go to the end, and then just get that last verse after that, the one I forgot to put in there. He says, hey, I didn't come to be served, but to serve. And if you do this, if you wash one another's feet, you go to the gross areas, and don't think that you're above everybody. Humble yourself and say, hey, I want to help you. It's that spot. He's like, there's a blessing that comes. You'll get favor in relationships. I'm telling you, you'll get a new marriage. You'll get new children. And not because of a new person, but new relationships. You'll get new levels of living, new levels of job if you just begin to serve where you're at. God, I want to walk into my calling, just plop it into my lap. Start serving where you're at, and I'm telling you, will serve your way. And so this is how the kingdom works. This is the kingdom principles. He's going, hey guys, it's cool that you want to be great and significant and stuff, but this is how to get there. Flip it upside down, serve. And I love this. It's not out of because, well, I'm going to serve so I can manipulate and get what I want anyways. But it's out of love for one another. We serve because we love.
We serve because we want to change the world. And I want to read this to you. I love this one. He says, 1 Peter 4:10-11. I don't have it in there. But as each has received a gift, he's saying God's given you a gift. Truth, guys. God's given you gifts and abilities. Now, what do you do with it? Use it to serve one another. And then it goes into the list. God's given this kind of this and give this kind of gift, this kind of gift. But the point of it is not you don't have the gift of prophecy or the gift of service or the gift of helps, just that you can help yourself, serve yourself, and prophesy to yourself. Come on. The gifts are for somebody else. Some of you guys have been Christian for a while. The only gift that we get in the Bible, tongues, and it's the personal form, that's the only one that's for you. Every other gift is for somebody else. Every other gift is for somebody else. Well, I just don't see the move of the Spirit anymore. I just want to see. Then serve, help, pour into, take care of, count someone else above yourself, and begin to get up under there. How can I help you and address their concerns? This is the big thing, guys. I want to encourage you and challenge you today that this is the rule of the kingdom. This is how you grow. This is how you progress. This is how the calling and the good things of God work. He's going, hey, I got things for you. I got heights for you to reach to. I have ridiculous, I feel the Lord really clearly. There are ridiculous callings in this room. There are things that we will never realize unless we serve. Unless we serve, but do we? And it's not one of those, I did something for somebody. Hey, wife, you're awesome, and I did something. And the worst thing is that sometimes I come into the house and be like, she's like, can you help? I'm like, I already took out the garbage, woman. Don't you see what I did already? And I'm already done. That's wrong conversation. Yeah, because I'm actually not helping. I'm doing stuff, but I'm not helping. Guilty. How do I help one another? How do I use what I got, leverage what I got to lift what you got? How do I get under your burden and use what I got for what you got? And this is a simple challenge, guys. Do we do this as a church? And I'm saying this not because we are having a volunteer rally and we need more. By the way, if you volunteer or if you want to volunteer, this Tuesday, 6:30, we're feeding you and training you as much as we can and planning together. Come, 6:30 Tuesday. But this is not a volunteer rally. This is a heart of a pastor, a heart of a spiritual dad going, hey, there are things that God wants us to walk into, greatness that we need to walk into. There is significance that God has called you to, and it will come only through servanthood. Period.